I still refer to him as Dodgy Dave.
Oh! Unbelievable.
I'd stand up. I'd be like, this parrot is no more.
I like this old guy. You want to know why I like him? He is okay with perpetuating the stereotype that people from England have horrible teeth.
You know, and of all the meaningful things he's done in this short stint we've had with him, that you pick on his dentistry.
I get stuck on things, dude.
So we've talked about this. Some Like It Hot, Spike Lee joint. Temperatures are rising in the city. And it's really ratcheting up not just the temperature outside, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm just pissed off at everybody. It's so hot out. And
it's not the Mercury retrograde.
You know, we got into that fight one time, and it just so happened that Mercury was in retrograde, but you can't fall back on that every single time. Things are getting a little sticky out there, Pat. You know, it's just Los Angeles, and it's 92 degrees. I don't think it has to do with anything
Heat makes me
planetary.
irritable, too, so I can relate to it. I think what you're saying.
I can get, like, overall right now, there's the temperature and the season isn't affecting me. But if I get hot, like in the car, like you get in and the... you don't turn the AC on right away and you get hot, like I can get really agitated really quickly in like 45 seconds. I'm like, I need the air conditioning on. I need the air conditioning on.
Who are you mad
at?
The God. Yeah. But it's making me lose patience with people. Like I was just at that Starbucks. I think baboons are running this. And you're encountering people when it's this hot out. And listen, I'm not brilliant by any stretch of the imagination. So
don't sell yourself short.
If I'm not that smart, what are you? You know, like I'd like a black cold brew. Okay, no problem. What do you want in it? I can't. It's too hot for that kind of question. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just way too hot for that kind of interaction.
I thought you were going to say someone cut in front of you.
No, I mean the woman in front of me. I don't know what she ordered, but it should be taken off the menu. And if we want to get more elaborate, maybe a SEAL team should come down from the sky when they see or hear that this woman has ordered this drink, because it's just a sign of psychopathy. Again, I think it was like a strawberry kind of thing, and it just took so long.
I actually am a little envious of the people who are able to order those pink milkshakes daily at 8 a.m.
That's healthy.
And walk out just like, off with my coffee, ready to be a boss,
Are
babe.
you saying because of
my awareness of the poison in it?
Oh, okay. So
doesn't allow me to indulge.
It is the health conscious part of it. Okay.
Yes.
But a perfect example of that, 7-Elevens, I have to stop walking into them because nothing good ever happens in a 7-Eleven.
And you shove your trash down there, the hardworking man's receptacle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's depressing.
Nothing good ever happens there.
No.
I walked out the other day. I'm in line. There's this young man. I assume he's a zombie, but not quite, all the way bitten. But this man is just counting all of the little coins he's got on the display case of the lottery tickets, and he's making the young man stand there and verifying that he's paid the right amount. That was very sad. But the other day, like we were talking about, they need the vending machine system. It's God telling me that I need to stop vaping. I walked in, I was like, I need the Enjoy device. Where's that?
Oh, wow.
I mean, could not. No, down to the right. No, it's probably behind that sign. And he throws his hands up. He's like, I can't find it. And I know it's there for a fact, but there's a queue starting to build up behind me. And I literally ducked out of there. I just said, I give up. I can't do it.
I've done that at Jersey Mike's. I'll get into that in a second. I've given up on it. The systems, the structures of that business model do not work for me any longer. The 7-Eleven thing. If I'm going to be like a productivity manager, a consultant, I go into 7-Eleven because I, more often than both of you, I buy my grocery store sandwich at 7-Eleven every day.
It's an integral part of your diet.
It is an integral part of my diet. In
and
fact,
it's like a methadone clinic walking into these places.
So I am very often a victim of scratchers, orders of, and then, as you pointed out, the very long and disjointed cigarette order. No, down there to the right, man. Come on, man. Man, down there. No, the Swiffers. No, the pink Swiffers.
Right.
And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, how did they? Oh, back to me being a consultant.
Yeah.
So when I go in there and go, okay, this isn't working. There's a lot of levels here that aren't working. Language barrier being one.
They lost 20, easy Gran Torino, but they lost $25 from me, right?
Absolutely.
All we needed was a system, and you would have accrued that cash.
Here's the
but
system.
I ducked out. I couldn't wait. I couldn't
Number it. Just go 4, dude. And just have a 4 next to the Swiffers.
Right.
And the guy will go, I know where 4 is.
Right. And you're speaking nonsense. It sounds like a Dr. Seuss book what you're saying right now. But, all this heat got me thinking, and it's what I wanted to bring into another podcast show, Nick.
I also have a 7-Eleven story. We love to just think of zombies as solely native to LA. But as you guys know, I traveled to Denver a couple months ago. And
they got White Walkers up there.
Don't stay in downtown Denver.
Right.
You would think, downtown, that's where you want to stay. Not true in most cities.
You said you would think downtown, that's where you want to stay. I would never think that.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. And
sorry to shit on your point, but
because you want access,
right.
We were going to the basketball game.
Right,
that's why I think that. But you don't want to stay down there. And they have a 16th Street mall, a walking mall, should be a nice shopping area, but filled with zombies who and these are really the kind of with it urban camping type zombies.
Yeah.
Who will. So I walked a little ahead of my.
Should we rebrand this podcast the Zombie Cast? Because I feel like we could bring in a lot of like the true crime kind of spooky audience with that title, and then just charm the pants off of them with our devoid of any empathy talk.
Yeah. We're like the two ladies from My Favorite Murder.
My Favorite Murder, but and then Dylan always mocks it because most of the time what they're saying is, "Oh my God."
Yeah, one reads the Wikipedia article and the other goes, "Oh my God."
No, that's Crime Junkies.
Same
same garbage.
She's
same
like,
show.
They found her at the bottom of the lake. What?
Oh my God.
But anyways, downtown Denver, there's a 7-Eleven, and I went there, and it was a whirlwind 4.5 minutes. The characters that I was introduced to in such a short time, fight in an aisle, people in front of me, in front of my Celsius cooler, some lady counting out change to get cigarettes.
Did you say your Celsius cooler?
Yeah. But I don't care what city I am. That cooler is mine when I walk into that building.
Wow.
And the zombies need to know that.
Wow.
But anyways, it was a harrowing 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I text my buddy who I was meeting at the game that night, and I was like, oh yeah, I just went to 7-Eleven. It was wild. He goes, oh, I know that one. He knew which 7-Eleven. And also,
do not go there. Don't go there.
We were walking a little ahead of my grandma unwittingly, and she was accosted by like a beggar zombie, and I turned around, just kind of like got my arms big like a bobcat. I was like, get away from her! Get!
Good for you.
Because they were asking for my she thought they found a weak, alone target.
Yeah, right.
And I said, get away from her.
No, the zombies do take down the elderly quite easily. So you have to be protective of Kay. But yeah, Einstein was really right. I mean, that 4 minutes sound like it could have been an eternity. In fact, you said it was 4 minutes, and then it went back down to 3 minutes. I mean, that experience was just a time warp. But what I wanted to bring into what's up? What's he doing?
Do you have a lighter? I don't know.
What I wanted to bring into another podcast show, this is another podcast show, the show where we gab and goof about mostly zombies, but really whatever is at top of mind.
Which is mostly zombies.
Dylan saddled up next to one real Nicholas Davis.
Ahoy, mateys.
And Pat's over there looking for a lighter. That's not a lighter. That's a vape that's been here for 2.5 years. What I wanted to bring in today is loosely attached to the heat, but it sent me down a rabbit hole of just the kooky behavior of the Brits, the rib that we were born of.
They Iron Maiden, I saw him in concert, and last time I saw him, the singer Bruce Dickinson, he's like, "Oh, don't you miss your grandpa?" Like because they're from England, they're America's grandpa.
Yeah. Did he provide any context to that, or was
he was
just
kind of mocking us a little bit for being dumb Americans?
Okay,
but he's like, "Oh, you got to listen to your grandpappy."
All right, man. Well, you want to talk about strange behavior? Let's talk about the Brits. I saw this video the other day, and it sent me into, like I said, a bit of a rabbit hole down.
Is this Parliament we're looking at?
Well, we'll get there, but this is just the beginning of our exploration of the kooky nature of the British people. Let's take a look at this.
Britain just suffered through its second brutal heat wave of the summer. Elizabeth Palmer shows us it's got some people down.
On the hottest day of the year in London, the Queen's Guards are quick marching into 100-degree heat.
Now, you're familiar with the Queen's Guards, right?
Yeah, of course. They're the ones they can't make any moves, and a lot of people enjoy going there and fucking with them.
Sure, and I'm not sure if they protect anything. You know, like the Swiss Guard at the Vatican, they look very goofy, but I think they have like hidden Uzis or something.
Yeah. Now these guys have swords.
Right. I don't know what their function is other than like
wearing funny hats.
Wearing funny hats.
And they're so weak. I'm pretty sure like about 5 years ago or so, they put them inside the gates because people loved fucking with them where they couldn't move.
Right.
And they'd like
they were being bullied.
Yeah, they were being bullied. So now they're moved inside the gates. That's how weak of soldiers they are.
Right. Well, it's getting really hot, and adding further I don't know, exhibits to their weak constitution is this piece from CBS Evening News with Nora O'Donnell.
Actually, Dylan, they don't even have a constitution.
This. All soldiers are prone to fainting, even the U.S. Marines. In fact, it's such a problem that the British Army is doing research on how to prevent it. Major Ian Parsons.
No, so I can't talk tonight. What we're seeing is these guys just dropping like flies. Mm-hmm. They're standing there in these. You know, I don't want to shit on tradition. It's a very millennial thing to do, but they're standing in these ridiculous lines for these processions that they're just toppling over.
They're going down like Joe Clements at a cathedral school and elementary concert.
Our mouths are marble tonight, but you know, so they're in these giant ornate bear skin hats, in these woolen uniforms, and it's getting hot in the UK just like it is here, and they're just fainting.
I don't like that move that I think the senior editor of this piece had to add, where they had to
love that you're bringing this up. Why the needless shot at the U.S. Marine Corps?
This is a story about how silly the Brits are, and they had to mention that it's also a problem with the Marines, and they found the one weak person we probably kicked out of our great military.
I mean, what is the point of that, Pat?
Well, they want to sully the American military's performance in heat as well.
You know, the American media, Dylan, has taken an oath not to make our country look redeemable in any way. We also have to look weak like the Brits.
Sure. But so I was like, oh, this is so interesting that they're all just standing out there in these very, very hot costumes and fainting. And, you know, naturally YouTube knows me. It is my third eye and my subconscious. So it feeds me the things that I so crave. And next up is when David Cameron was prime minister, I think that's what his name was. And I think he was prime minister. I don't know how the kooky Brits do it. They've got all these different parties.
I've never heard of him.
But evidently he was a very contentious PM, as are they all, I assume. I think the Brits just like to argue. And argue they do. I really do wish the American government worked like this kind of beautiful slam poetry thing they do. Watch this.
We're helping to pay for at Oxford. I didn't receive a proper answer then. Maybe Dodgy Dave will answer it now. And by the way...
Now, Dodgy Dave is sitting right there. I mean, this old bastard is just flaming him straight.
Guy yelling at him if he can't see. He's only got 2 teeth. Guy's got 2 teeth.
Order.
Chuck him out.
I must ask the honourable gentleman, order. Don't require any assistance from some junior minister. An absurd proposition.
Wow, this is fun.
Unbelievable. Look at the tie this man's in. This isn't a serious proceeding at all.
He's going to Taco Tuesday.
Question without using that word. It is up to him, but if he doesn't wish to withdraw it, I can't reasonably ask the Prime Minister to answer the question. All he has to do is withdraw that word and think of another, Sorry? Sorry? I think he knows the word beginning with D and ending in Y that he inappropriately used.
Now the man with 2 teeth is being a jokester. He's saying, which word are you talking about? He knows exactly. He called him Dodgy Dave, but he doubles down here. Take a look.
This man has done more to divide this nation than anybody else. He's looked after his own pocket. I still refer to him as Dodgy Dave.
Oh! Unbelievable!
I'd stand up. I'd be like, "This parrot is no more."
You know what I like? I like this old guy.
Bro,
I like this old guy. You want to know why I like him? He is okay with perpetuating the stereotype that people from England have horrible teeth.
you know, and of all the meaningful things he's done in this short stint we've had with him, that you pick on his dentistry.
I get stuck on things, dude.
But yeah, so it's hot, and the Brits are so kooky.
I don't think I need assistance from a junior minister over there.
Yeah,
oh, that's fun. I
Your
wonder-
British accent
Fun.
is
Just that little
unbelievable.
island over there that started everything about 1,500 years ago.
I love the way this is laid out, like this long table with all these water glasses and these beautiful bound books. I think it's the same thing they've had for some time. I mean, when I watched Winston or Churchill or whatever the fucking biopic was with Gary Oldman, I mean, this is exactly what it looked like. They're all just fucking, they're hammered and they're screaming at each other.
Can you go watch this? Does it look like in this room?
What are you talking about? Like C-SPAN?
Yeah, or can you watch it? Can you be there? I want to
Oh, no.
cheer him on. I want to
No.
rabble rouse.
No, but that is the next evolution, selling tickets to this proceeding, because my God, would I fly to Europe.
I don't even know what they were fighting over, but it was fun. Hey, you know what?
Yeah.
I just had a thought. Here.
Corruption, Patrick.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. You know, it's rampant in the world.
Yeah, and this man, this red-faced fucking drunk, is trying to call it out, and his heroism was ignored by you in favor of his 2 teeth.
You know, I had a thought here as I was watching this. Many say that a culture or a society should be judged by how what it does with its prisoners.
Yeah.
Right? But
I don't feel that way.
Well, I think there's another marker, and that's the type of porn they're putting out.
Okay.
So England porn, I watch a little bit.
Where is
it
this?
It has dignity.
Okay.
And then if you look at German porn,
What do you? Okay.
It means they're wearing powdered wigs.
So this is an interesting theory, hypothesis.
Yeah.
What British porn are you speaking of? Are you talking about Fake Taxi?
Oh, no, not Fake Taxi. They do a lot of casting porn. They have the English accent. I'm kind of into that, you know?
Right.
Really classy stuff. But then if you...
And what's classy about it?
Well, it's 2 people. They're not choking each other or spitting on someone's face or shitting on them.
Yeah.
You hop on over like 300 miles to the west, you got Germany.
Scheisse porn.
They got 500 guys gangbanging one broad.
Right.
And then they all they do that bukkake thing. You know, I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, bukkake is German for everybody gather around and come in Japanese.
Right.
Yeah.
They make the
Ooh.
what's the nun thing? The Arizona nun. They make it look like child's play.
Oh yeah.
God damn
what
it.
is that? What is that again?
I forget, man.
Ah, fuck.
How could you forget? That was such a seminal phrase in our podcast history.
I can't remember anything. I only have so much memory in my memory bank.
All right.
But I was going to say, you get over to that Japanese thing. They're very competitive. They want to know how many, everything's timed. And they want
Squid Games for fucking.
It's exactly like that. I mean, so I would say
Squid
England,
Games is Korean. Microaggression. It doesn't matter.
Grandpa, the country Grandpa, I think they're in a good place, and I base that on their porn offerings.
You know,
on Pornhub.
it's so funny. Sorry to derail us a little
That's
bit,
fine.
but Bert Kreischer is he seems like a nice guy, but he's rather taxing to me to watch. But he does
too
seem
much
like
energy.
Seem like a nice guy. Yeah, but far too much battery. What? God, I cannot talk. But there was the first time I'd heard his stand-up outside of The Machine, which is a 13-minute story that I haven't seen a second of. But he had this hilarious bit where he goes, "Did you know that Chinese people and Japanese people cannot understand each other?" that blew my mind. I thought it was just like accents. Like Spanish people say pantalones, Italian people say pantalone, but no, they can't fucking understand a word they're saying to one another.
Well, not to take the podcast
It's a hilarious observation, Bert.
For the serious, but in China, they actually have 5 different languages within there. So some Chinese people can't even understand countrymen from their own country.
Mandarin and countrymen.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I'm glad this took us on the tangent. When I said it's like Squid Games for fucking, I tensed up. I was like, am I gonna? Was it Japanese? Was I right? Did I get away with this?
Yeah,
but it ticked out, and in fact, it was Korean. But look at the hilarious conversation.
It ticked out. What is
I
that?
don't know.
What the fuck does that mean?
I don't know,
Guys, we have so many things to talk about
I
tonight.
do have stuff to talk about.
We have to talk about, I believe, an Indian man who was murdered.
Yes.
We also have to talk about, I don't know, whatever Pat's miffed about these days. Should we cover the murdered guy?
Yeah, I think our highlighting some of the cultural differences overseas is real. It's a theme of this podcast, so let's keep going with it.
Is the knot going to get tied in a pretty little knot when it gets to you? Do you have a cultural thing?
No, mine's more of an existential dilemma that I have.
Fun.
Should we sandwich it with the existential dilemma?
We'll have an existential dilemma sandwich of a podcast. How about that? So what's going on? Why don't you bum everybody out?
Okay. All right, so why don't you just we'll put this in the background. Maybe we'll turn down the volume of the video we're about to watch.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is how I spent my Sunday.
Sure.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do the landscape thing.
That's okay. You don't understand how technology works.
Well, it's I know how you hold your phone.
You'd think that you would, but
the landscape thing is a battle that us boomers have lost. Vertical video is the way of the world, unfortunately. I hate it.
What are you saying, boomers? You're not a boomer.
But boomers are the ones that really try to like hold on and say it's important to film landscape, and I agree with it.
Oh, boomers were the ones that have done that.
Just the older generation.
Oh,
Like
got
why
it.
are we making everything skinny?
Oh,
You watch a
interesting,
basketball
interesting.
highlight, I can't even see the fucking scoreboard.
Right.
But we've lost that. Anyways,
Oh, okay.
so very hip of you to go vertical video.
Very hip.
So there are many markers in one's life
Sway House Pat.
where it's the passing of the guard person.
Yeah.
Which is you're leaving one room and entering another, and you will not be looking back. You'll never do those things again. Certainly.
Can you do you, and you don't have to say yes, but do you mind repeating the last sentence you said, because I completely tuned out?
That's fine. There are markers in one's life where you pass by a certain point and you don't look back. You just keep moving forward, but the things that happened before that, you will never engage in again. For example, you get married. I will never be up till 3 a.m. at a bar hitting on a girl and then taking home and bedding her. I'm a married man.
Right.
So the day I got married, actually...
Well, never say never, Pat.
Fair enough.
Are we going to talk about Bieber?
But you mentioned when I think we were complaining about Las Vegas, and you said, when you're younger, you'll hop on a layover to Las Vegas. Like, there's not a direct flight. You got to go to Reno for 4 hours and then go to Vegas. When you're 19, you're like, yeah,
Fuck
that's
it.
fine. But never again will
Not-
I do
oh, yeah,
anything
well,
even remotely
I
close
was,
to
yeah.
that.
Then I was making the case. There's certain things now that I'm old, I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. When you get old,
But you're talking about life markers that are much larger than that.
bigger than
Got it,
getting
got
a little
it.
crazy when you're 19.
Right.
But the point is, Dylan is not going to take a layover again.
I'll do a layover, but I'm going to need 3.5 hours. That's the perfect time because it will get chopped down to an hour, and then you have just enough time to grab a
drink.
bag of nuts and an Aquafina and run to the flight.
I'm sorry, Pat. I'm really excited to hear where this is going.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I guess we'll go on a journey here. So I got married, and then I was like, I don't get to have sex with anybody anymore.
Man, that sucks!
Then when the kid was going to come on the kid was on the way, I was like, wow, I probably won't get to sleep in anymore. None of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And then I remember when my lovely daughter was born, and I changed that first diaper, I think on day 2. And I pulled out the diaper, and I had taken classes how to change a diaper.
And then you saw the paste for real?
Oh, I saw the paste. And I said, when I did that diaper to myself, I said, this is one of 25,000 of these that I will change over the course of the next 4 or 5 years until they get into push-ups or whatever.
Right.
Well, Sunday, I had a new marker. And my daughter...
She got her period?
Not yet. That'll be... So
Sorry.
No, that's okay. That'll be a marker, but that'll be for the wife. I'm not going to handle any of that.
Well, you don't know. I mean,
When I walk in and I have a boy and the boy's strumming his guitar underneath the blanket while he's watching TV, that will be a marker for me.
Oh, you're talking about
Uncomfortable
masturbating.
conversation. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, son, you don't do that in the living room. Okay? You do that in the bedroom.
What kind of animal have you raised?
I don't know.
This hypothetical son of yours is beating off in the family room.
If I had a blanket while we recorded, I would have attempted it. I don't think he's an animal.
Unbelievable.
Well, so on Sunday, my daughter has been taking dance classes for the last 8 months, and she's been prepping for a dance recital,
Oh, yeah.
for which I was very excited about. What a lot of people would know is the #1 song in the world, the most played song on Spotify. Nick, would you know what that is?
Baby Shark?
Yes. Boy, you know your stuff, dude.
Thanks.
So now, as I'm sitting in an auditorium with 200 other parents, the nice woman, I guess, who runs the dance class, and these are all the students going to do a recital, lets me know that this is going to be the most enjoyable 2.5 hours of my life.
Please leave me alone. Please go talk to somebody else.
Now, my wife and I, and we brought the family along because Elliot's going to do her first recital at 2 years and 2 months.
Right.
And I was under the impression that I'd be in and out of there in 20 minutes. I mean, it's a 2.5-year-old.
Right. Are we doing the Nutcracker here? Like, what's going on?
That's precisely how long the Nutcracker is. Too long, by the way.
Oh, see,
Too
that
long.
was me
Too
not
long.
not knowing anything about theater. I thought the Nutcracker was like one
that
of those
is
that dragged.
Torture.
Wait, how long is the Nutcracker
About
actually?
over 2 hours.
Oh,
There's an
okay.
intermission.
Okay.
I was agreeing with you.
Oh, okay, got it. The way that you did it confused me.
This is much worse than the Nutcracker. Why don't we just hit play?
Okay.
And then I'll go through what was going through my mind as I was watching this.
Now, do you want the volume
Just a little.
down?
He wants it.
Okay,
in the
all right.
So
background.
this is Elliot, my beautiful daughter, in that beautiful blue dress that cost $100 that they overcharged me for.
Right,
I'm pretty
right,
sure it was
right.
shipped in from China.
Yeah. What a
cost them
grift
$5.
that is.
So that's me filming. By the way, these classes are $40 a session for her to do Baby Shark.
Okay.
Okay, there's little Ellie. As I'm watching this, maybe this isn't going to be a full payoff, but I figure you guys will help me out make this story entertaining.
Yeah.
Question: $40. How many people are in the class?
Sometimes just 2.
Okay.
So her teacher didn't even fucking show up. I bought a fucking $50 Amazon gift card, and then my wife made me go out and fucking buy a thank you card for this witch that didn't even let us know that she wasn't showing up.
That's insane.
So she will not be seeing that gift card on Saturday when we show up to dance class. By the way, this is my daughter waving to the crowd.
She's adorable.
Yeah, but she's not doing the Baby Shark thing. She's supposed to be doing this. If you turn the camera will turn to the other crumb cruncher, she's following direction.
Right.
Can you imagine 200 people in an auditorium on a Sunday at 10 a.m. for 2.5 hours enjoying
God.
this? So the marker that I've passed now is I've realized my Sundays have gone the way of the dodo bird. I will be at either things like this for the next 5 to 10 years,
Right.
or I'll be at a fucking crumb cruncher birthday. My point is, I got to find a way to enjoy my life while participating in these activities.
Well, this gives
It's a
me
marker.
a great cause for concern because I find this to be a complete waste of money and time. But
How old is that girl next to her? She looked
she's
like
older than Ellie.
She looked like a I don't know. She looked like a tiny person. Look,
Ellie's gonna-
2, and she towers over her.
Ellie's going to be over 6 feet tall, they tell us.
Oh, okay.
My brother's 7 feet, you know.
So this is a colossal waste of time and money. But you are enchanted by your daughter. Of
course.
And this is.
But even I will not. I cannot fully enjoy this. I guess.
Can I make this long drawn out point, please? The two of you have interrupted this, and I'd like to make this long drawn out point,
sure.
please.
I haven't interrupted that much.
It's hot. He's on the edge of his.
Listen back. It's not a big deal, but I'm hot.
I just wanted to play the video. I don't know why you stopped. We were going to play it in the background.
Oh,
as we
that's
talk.
right. That's right. We have to play this video. So you and other parents do this thing where you film your daughter doing incredibly unimpressive things, but you think it's great, right? Because she's yours. Now, to arrive at this, most marker of days, and to be this repulsed does not give me hope, because I think I'm much more cynical than you. If I'm in this theater and the enchantment that you have for young Ellie is not here making you smile, I don't know what's going to happen to me when I'm a part of these things,
Well, you get old,
It's going to be really, really bad.
Yeah, you get old. My problem was 2.5 hours, and my daughter's performance was at the tail end of the program.
Oof.
So,
What do these women do? They've failed so conclusively at their job. The children are not dancing. They've charged you $100 for the dress that costs $17. I mean, this is a racket.
I'm really.
You want an Amazon gift card?
Could I get the number of that teacher? I want to call her and just tell her how irresponsible it is. Ellie, I'm sure, is destined to be a great, great dancer, but when she doesn't have her mentor there,
Correct,
she's
Nick.
Standing on stage lost. Like, what do I... Is this it? No, it's this. But she didn't have someone there to tell her that. It's
the mentor is the grandmother Willow of the class who couldn't show up.
Not the grandma Willow. It was actually a younger gal, but to be fair, she contracted COVID. But I would have appreciated a little text a little bit sooner.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because these ladies were way out of their depth.
My daughter almost fell off the stage if you watch the video close enough.
That's because of that woman getting COVID, because she was probably irresponsibly mingling.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Have you watched Fern Gully with your daughter yet?
Yeah.
No, is that the Zach Galifianakis interview show?
Yeah, so
This is why people think you don't listen to me.
We've talked about you not listening, and
He just asked me if I watched Fern Gully yet.
Yeah.
Last week I did Street Beefs, Fern Gully versus Aladdin.
Not only did we...
Oh, yeah, sure, all right, I remember that.
It's unbelievable. It wasn't a thing that was said in passing. It was an entire segment dedicated to Fern Gully. We said it 75 times.
I was listening.
And you said that movie with Zach Galifianakis.
No, I said that show.
Between Two Ferns.
Okay.
I actually... Yeah, that's actually...
Whew.
That's okay. But you should watch it. It'll be a great time with you and your daughter.
That smoke monster is very scary.
Texas.
All right.
too old.
So, speaking of scary things, let's talk about this Indian fella getting fucking gunned down in the middle of the street, broad daylight.
Yeah, it's pretty sad, but it is a story I think the American people need to hear. We live in such a bubble. We, of course, we're all mourning the loss of the movement of Justin Bieber's left side of his face. I am.
So, is that permanent?
I don't know.
No, it can't be.
It's not permanent.
See, I have a. That really saddened me. I think Justin Bieber's the man. I think he's so talented. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah, he makes fantastic music, and people who don't like his music, just have a heart, just have fun with it.
Just never say never.
I wonder if there's some assholes out there like, good, his life is too good.
There for sure are people like.
Is that called Schadenfreude?
I think people have carryover hatred of Justin Bieber for him doing.
He egged a house when he was 18
Yeah,
and had all the money in the world.
Doing
What a
donuts
fucking
in Calabasas and a Lamborghini. Yeah, sure, little petulant piece of shit, but I mean, he was a teenager. Let's give it a rest here. Yeah, God.
I think him and LeBron, who I don't even like for the microscope they've been put under from day one to achieve the stardom they have is incredible and defies all odds. But I'm very sad about that. Oh,
well,
also,
LeBron is a turncoat and a Chinese sympathizer and a hypocrite.
And he's going back to Cleveland. He can go fuck himself.
Oh, he's absolutely an avatar for special interests who romance him into thinking he's part of the elite when really he's just a puppet.
He entered into a really bad Faustian agreement where he got that hairline to come back down, and as long as he had that, he would sell whatever Mao needs him to say.
Someone gave him his hair back.
Why'd I call him Mao? Who's the guy that's heading up China?
Chairman Mao?
Xi Jinping.
Yeah.
When I was a freshman, so 2006, I remember one game, LeBron, he said his goals were to be a global icon. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Never heard Michael say that.
Right.
But I have a theory about Justin and
just
Haley.
became that, yeah.
Even though I don't want to besmirch his name.
Yeah.
She had a stroke some months ago.
Oh, my God.
And he lost feeling in his face. I think they got a bad batch of drugs that they were snorting together, and they fucking... That's
Holy fuck.
That's just Nick down in the TFC.
Yeah, have you heard of SADS? Sudden Adult Death Syndrome?
Oh, yeah.
Is that fentanyl?
No, it's fucking, people who are in their mid to early 30s who vape are just dropping dead in the middle of the night. I mean, it's not going to hit me, but...
Oh, that is another... I remember a couple things came out about like people dying from vapes. I think big tobacco is trying to get vape regulated more so they can get a stranglehold on it because there's like independent.
I kid.
Nicotine
It's not a vaping thing. It's an anti-vaxxer conspiracy thing.
Did you ever hear of internal combustion death? It's where people just basically explode from the inside out.
Yeah, sure.
They cover that.
Came from a Stephen King book.
They covered it in a really early episode of South Park, and they surmised that was from when you first get into a relationship, you hold in your farts.
Yeah. Yeah, way to go,
good
Trey.
memory,
Way to go,
Nick.
Matt.
You are an encyclopedia.
Thanks, Pat. Pat's so nice to
Yeah,
me
he's
today.
really blowing you up.
But we're not here to talk about that.
No, we have to talk about that Indian guy got gunned down in the middle of the street, broad daylight.
We're in a bubble. We know about those as the big stories, but we didn't hear about Sidhu Moosewala.
Yep.
He is a Punjabi.
Ever heard of him?
Punjabi rapper who, when he was 18 years old, moved to Canada in the Toronto area, Brampton, actually a huge Canadian Indo culture there. And he was an international student, and he started to pursue his dream of music. This is like 2010, 2011. In just over
What's this fella's name again?
Sidhu Moosewala.
Why'd you point out he's Punjabi?
Because
Hang on a second. What's with that?
Well, they're the snobby elite Indians, and they differentiate themselves from other Indians as the upper class.
Oh, got it. So in the caste system, it goes Punjabi, and then the other ones, and then cows, and then the untouchables. Okay, got it.
Well,
Okay.
while researching this story, I also found out there's actually a huge Canadian Indo crime syndicate scene. The Canadian government marks them as.
Is that the right use of the word Indo? I don't know.
I don't. It was rolling.
Patricia
off
Akbo, let us know.
it was rolling off the tongue pretty well, so I was
Yeah.
just going to keep doing it
Yeah.
unless less corrected, and I
Right.
don't count that as a correction.
No,
So,
I'm
yeah,
just unsure.
huge Indo-Canadian
Sounds
crime
super wrong,
syndicate.
but I don't know. Yeah.
So the Canadian government actually said it was third. Oh, yep. Indo-Canadian. I
Okay.
did read it.
Tight.
Indo-Canadian, real term. The Canadian government actually ranked it third behind Italian Canadian mafia, and the Triad as the biggest gang syndicates in Canada.
What's the triad?
Japan,
Wow.
or maybe no. Japan. Triad might be China.
Philippines?
No, Triad. I think, or Triad is China. Yakuza is Japan.
Yakuza.
And
So as we all know, the Italian mob is just running rampant in Canada. So are there 25 people in each of these drug? Like, what are we talking about?
this
here?
is what I'm talking about. The bubble we live in.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Toronto is a major port city. You don't think there's fucking shit going down there?
I've seen season 2 of The Wire.
Yeah. Ports. Baltimore.
Yeah.
Toronto, Indo-Canadian. Anyways,
Yeah.
So this guy, he got wrapped up in that, and he's essentially a gangster rapper from India.
Yeah.
In just a couple years, he now has over 10 million
he was gunned
Instagram
down.
followers.
Yeah.
Should we listen to some of his music?
Yes, actually, that is what I was going to do.
Would you compare him to like an Indian XXXTentacion?
No, actually, I would even go more reverential. He's considered one of the best of his generation. I would YouTube actually.
Okay.
The Last Ride.
The
Sidhu.
Last Ride. Okay.
I would actually compare him to Tupac, one of his biggest influences. Tupac was such an influence in his life that he actually named his last single before he died "The Last Ride," and he used that picture I sent you.
Yeah.
Can you bring that up? He used as the cover art for "The Last Ride" the picture of Tupac's shot up vehicle. And the similarities between their deaths do not end there.
Oh my God.
And he was also gunned down on May 29th, and one of his final singles was 295, which is the date 5/29. I think he knew
it was coming.
Some of this was coming. I gotta find my notes again. I thought I put them in.
Dylan, play the song.
Yeah, Last Ride.
Okay, Last Ride. Well, I was trying to find that cover. I'll find it right now, but let's listen to The Last Ride. So is this what he looked like?
Yeah, that's Sidhu Moose.
Okay.
Sidhu
Pretty cool look.
Yeah, Sidhu Moosewala.
It looks as though the I don't want to call this the wrong thing, but it looks as though this head thing is photoshopped on.
Yeah, it does. It
Yeah.
does. I agree.
All right, let's listen to The Last Ride.
I kind of like it.
Yeah, I don't understand what he's saying.
Doesn't matter. Just feel it.
Right.
And I want to shout out at MMA LOTN, at MMA Lock of the Night, Manpreet Jess, my Twitter buddy and fellow MMA handicapper friend who alerted me of this. He was the first one that shouted out, rest in peace, Sadhu Musawala.
Right.
But, so I do have to give him credit. That made me look into the story. But yes, so May 29th.
Of this year?
Of this year, a couple weeks
Wow.
ago. He gunned down in the middle of the street. There are videos of...
In Toronto?
No, in India,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
He moved back to India. Even took he had some position in Parliament. He was fighting to have more progressive laws in India and stuff.
Oh, that's why he got gunned down.
He was like Tupac making a change.
He was making a change.
You know, this is the album cover that you were talking about. Man, did Tupac's car really get shot up?
Oh, yeah.
The Las Vegas Police Department isn't gonna fucking miss their target. All right,
That's a good point.
They're gonna.
It's
they're
like
gonna
the
finish
end
job.
of
Suge Knight took a couple bullets that night.
It's like the end of Training Day is what this vehicle looks like. I mean, an absolute massacre.
King Kong got shit on Sadhu Musawala. So he's gunned down in the middle of the street. If you YouTube Sadhu murder, like there's CCTV footage of the vehicle right before it happened.
Yeah.
They end up finding the abandoned car of the assailants that was used in another crime. They find this abandoned car. On the floor is a receipt for gas from May 25th. They go to that gas station, find the CCTV, and are able to track that car to find the killer.
Yeah.
The killer, the first person arrested just on Tuesday, 2 weeks.
Wow.
This investigation went. A Delhi court permitted Punjab police to formally arrest gangster Lawrence Bishnoi, who was already in custody by the Delhi police for arms smuggling. He has since denied involvement, but 10 people total have been arrested, including some Canadian gangsters who were bragging and taking credit for the death on Facebook.
Street cred.
Wow.
Street cred.
His friend, Gurwinder Singh, who I don't trust any farther than I can throw him, and I haven't seen the man, but if you're over 150 pounds, I probably can't really get any distance on you.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
This guy, he was in the car with him. He did have a bullet wound.
Right.
But he said he was like, I tried to convince Sadhu to take the armored car and wear his bulletproof vest. But
To go get Starbucks?
I don't know what they were doing. Did they say go get Starbucks?
I don't know.
Interesting. So the conspiracy
that I am creating, I haven't seen this out there,
is that this man who's over 150 pounds was probably some type of inside man.
Mole.
Yeah, mole, inside man. I mean, they either had something on him, or they're like, we'll kill you or your family if you don't drive this car and put Sadhu Musawala right in front of us.
This is what's so interesting about these rappers. Sadhu Musawala goes up to Canada and he's just a student, right? And he gets into hip hop, but he has to seek this life out.
Nice pun.
It's much like meant it. It's much like this the man with the rainbow teeth. What's that guy's name?
Tekashi
6ix9ine, right? That guy wasn't a gangster.
No, he worked at a bodega. He was just a kid making videos.
And then he sought that out, and then he ends up in a world of trouble, actually.
Well, yeah, he saw it after.
Who thinks that they can mess around with gangsters and
this,
not
though?
get shot in broad daylight?
Well, first off, that Nick pointed out that perhaps this poor sad sap, for political reasons, got taken out.
Sure.
You guys are familiar with Chris Rock's CB4, right? Which is he got a kid that just wanted to make it in the rap game, hip hop. So he completely faked his whole backstory that he had gone to prison and killed people, and then he became like NWA. And then you never saw that comedy? It's actually a pretty bad movie. Actually.
I was just going to ask if it's good and worth watching. I remember
it's horrible.
seeing it.
It could have been a classic.
Because I loved Chris Rock's stand-up, and then I would look up his movies, but I never read
Cell Block 4. So the whole premise of Chris Rock being this NWA rapper guy was that he had killed people and he had street cred. So then fast forward to this 30 years later, this guy probably went to
Sadhu Musawala,
like holding a machine gun in a lot of photos, but that's not who he is. He was just making money off of it.
Right.
Sorry.
He's wrapping this up.
Okay.
I just wanted to say one thing to know. the guy who set him up, his neighbor and friend.
Oh my gosh.
I don't really know if he set him up.
This is a real Godfather type moment here.
But Gurwinder Singh, the guy who survived, he did say that when he was being shot at, Sidhu pulled out his licensed armed weapon and was able to fire off a couple shots of his
good
own
for him.
as he
Hell.
went. So he died fighting.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, Sidhu Mustafa.
Rest easy, Sidhu.
Hey, can I say this? Can you just play a couple more beats of this song?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. I've been searching on New Music Fridays on Spotify. I haven't heard
us aware of
anything that gets me moving, like this little tune that I'm hearing. We're doing a live show. We need music that's going to bring us up on the stage.
I like it.
This is in the contention for it.
Let us know if you want to hear us come out to Feelin' Giovanni or Sidhu Mustafa. Those are the only two options.
I'm going to throw in a couple more, but thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. We really spanned the gamut. A lot of culture talk, a lot of hot talk, and talk of existential crises. So jump in the
I'll get through
iTunes
it,
ratings and reviews, leave 5 stars, kind words, tell your friends, subscribe on YouTube, and join us on Patreon for extra content, some APSs, Below Deck, Real Housewives, all that fun stuff. You got PMZ and ad-free episodes. We love you very much. We'll see you next week. I'm Dylan saying goodbye. Nick, say goodbye.
Pat, I really want you to do that thing to your daughter where you say don't eat the thing and I'll walk upstairs and I'll come back. I want to watch that on here. Can you do that for me? I sent you the video of it. Goodbye.
Pat?
Bye.